All right, we're recording. We are continuing our study in Hosea. This, I believe, is week 3. And
third verse.
week 3, third verse. So I want to point out something as you're reading the book of Hosea. As near as I can determine, Hosea is made up of 7 cycles or 7 units, like concentric circles. And they run along this pattern. We have this judgment of God coming upon the northern kingdom. It's going to reach all the way into the gates of Jerusalem, as we looked at last week. And then we're going to have this passionate cry of God for his people. And we're going to see this repeated throughout the book of Hosea. This cycle, this concentric circles that are made up of the curse and the judgment, followed by God's cry for the people. And so we're going to finish the first section today. We're going to be starting in chapter 1, verse 10, and we're going to read through chapter 2, verse 1. Now remember, when this was written, there weren't paragraph breaks and there weren't all these verse numbers and things that we have. So they have actually put the break for chapter 2 a little early, because what 2:1 should be included with the previous section to make it make sense. So we've just seen that Hosea has married a woman whose heart is like the people of the land. It's not going to be faithful to him. And the children are going to follow the same path. And he's given names to name the children. And then we have this passage that follows in verse 10. Yet the number of the sons of Israel will be like the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured or counted. Where did that come from? Where have you heard that before? Abraham, that's right, Abraham. That was a promise given to Abraham by God. And so God is bringing that back into the mind of the people and said, look, it's getting ready to be really bad. It's going to be bad. You're going to get decimated. There's going to be very few people left. And those that are going to be carried away into captivity. It's going to be ugly. But this is the promise that you have. And in the place where it is said to them, you are not my people. Remember the name that was given to one of the children. It will be said to them, the sons of the living God. And the sons of Judah and the sons of Israel will be gathered together, and they will appoint for themselves one leader, and they will go up from the land, for the day of Jezreel will be great. Say to your brothers, Ami, and to your sisters, Ruhamah. All right. So if you're reading this back in the day, how would you interpret what he is saying? The sons of Judah and the sons of Israel will be gathered together, and they will have for themselves one leader. What would you understand that to mean?
The uniting of Israel and Judah.
Yeah, that's right. So if you're in the 750s, let's say BC, and you're reading this, that's what you're thinking. Now move forward 750, 800 years, and what does it mean now? How does Paul quotes this passage, and he's using it to talk about something. How does Paul understand this and what it means?
The Gentiles and the Jews.
Yeah. Paul's going to say what Hosea was actually referring to, this one leader was Jesus Christ. And the uniting of the two is going to be the Jews and the Gentiles are going to be united in Christ. And they're going to be one people group, one kingdom, one eternal group of priests and kings to the Lord. That's what Paul is going to understand this to mean. So what does it mean to us 2,000 years from Paul's time, roughly? 1900 something.
What is it?
What does it mean to us today? Kind of a trick question. It means the same thing, really.
No, I'd say
Yeah.
that it means this is a done deal and we should act like it's a done deal.
Yeah, we're part of the family of God.
Where does Paul use that?
It is in Romans 9, 24 and 26. So we'll turn there real quick and I'll read that. And he did so to make known the riches of his glory upon objects of mercy, which he prepared beforehand for glory, namely as us, whom he has called, not only from among Jews, but also from among Gentiles. As he also says in Hosea, I will call those who were not my people, and her who was not beloved, beloved. And it shall be that in the place where it was said to them, you are not my people, they shall be called sons of the living God. And he goes on in other places to talk about how we are united in the family of God in Christ Jesus. He is our one leader. Paul in Ephesians chapter 2 and in Galatians, he talks about us being made into one family. So you see, Paul is looking back 750 years prior to him, and he's seeing the fulfillment in Jesus Christ and in the bringing together of the Jews and the Gentiles. And y'all are going to laugh, but that's really what the focus is of what we're talking about today. I mean, that's the whole thrust of it, is that the people at the time, they understood it to mean something different. But as history unfolds, we began to see the reality of the prophecy of Hosea fulfilled in Jesus Christ. And some of that is true in the prophetic realm today. If you have been given a prophecy or you've been given a promise from God and you think it's going to look a certain way, and it doesn't necessarily look a certain way. It can very much look differently, and when you look back, as time passes, you begin to see, oh, that's what God was communicating to me. So, an example of that, and I hadn't planned on sharing this, but I'm going to. When I was in Brazil last time, a woman that was seated across the aisle from me, she saw two angels standing beside me. And they were rocking me this way and that way. And I was rocking this way and that way. And she saw one of the angels place like a lens over my eyes, like a visor, kind of like big sunglasses, but a little different colored and shape. And out of that, I have come to understand something that God said to me a long time ago that I didn't understand. From that encounter, I gained understanding into what God was trying to tell me about ministry. So one of the things that I've seen visions of, and that I understand now, one of my roles is to support people in their ministries. Not that I'm going to be doing the ministry work, but is to support and help people as they venture out into what God's called them to do. It's almost like maybe a refueling center, which was another prophetic word from 25, 30 years ago that I received. So that's sort of like, I had the visions, but I didn't have the understanding. I didn't know what God was trying to tell me. And now He's opened it up to where I can understand. And that's the same thing that's happening here. Hosea is declaring, and the people are interpreting it for themselves at their time in history. But now Jesus has come, and there's a fulfillment in Him that we now see. That's really what Hosea was talking about. Yes?
So what was the visor?
I'm sorry?
So what did the visor mean?
It allowed me to see some things with understanding that I couldn't see before.
Oh, okay, all right.
Like it's like
The visor to be like, suddenly I can see in the spirit realm.
I was thinking
Give
Laurel.
me one.
yeah. No, it's God shows us things, and without His understanding and interpretation of it, we don't really know.
You gotta have eyes to see, that's what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I have a real clear vision and understand, oh, that's what you're calling. This is what you're putting together. This is what's happening. Empower and equip and help people in their journey. So that's really all I have to say today.
So tell us about the day of Jezreel.